Hello everyone, my name is Chase Brunsman. Today I will be presenting my findings on how to design an ADA or American with Disabilities Act compliant website. The purpose of my presentation today is to inform you on how to design a website that complies with all ADA regulations. The ADA, also known as the American Disabilities Act, as well as with the Rehabilitation Act of 1974, was created to provide a guideline and list of regulations on how to build websites and so forth. Just as someone would build a building and have to comply with disability regulations, this is directly correlated to the internet and how websites are built. This presentation is specifically designed for web developers. Web developers should be using this presentation to design websites with design elements and functionality to comply with all ADA rules and regulations. A secondary audience to this is people with disabilities themselves. People with disabilities should be able to use this to find out what protections are in place for them. The internet has dramatically changed the way people go about their lives and perform tasks. Specifically, the ADA was introduced to mandate government websites and how they are used, to provide disabled people a unhindered use. Building a poorly designed website is similar to constructing a building for which a disabled person cannot access. This is due to the assumptions of how the website will be used by others. The problems a disabled person can face while using the internet vary widely. Let's go ahead and take a look at some terms that are used when referencing the internet. A web page is basically just an internet document. Documents contain information. A web page is usually in HTML format, which is a text-based format. A website is a collection of web pages. A web browser is like an index of different internet web pages that allow you to load and view them. HTML, also known as Hypertext Markup Language, is the most commonly used coding language on the internet. A screen reader is a computer program that converts text to speech. HTML tags are specific instructions to be understood by a web browser or screen reader in order to convert. Refreshable Braille display is an electronic device that translates standard text into Braille. These two images are products used by people with disabilities to access the internet. Image 1 is a refreshable Braille display. Refreshable Braille displays are used by people with disabilities to convert text to Braille. Image 2 is showing an iPad using a screen reader. A screen reader converts text on a computer to speech through the speakers of the device. As stated previously, the problems a disabled person might face on the internet are various. These issues can be anything from images not having text equivalencies, documents that are not posted in text format, undesirable font and color schematics that could cause a person with epilepsy to have a seizure, and certain media types that lack accessibility features, like a video with no audio. This is a big problem because the ADA strictly mandates that all disabled people have access to the internet without any undue burden. Some possible solutions to the previously explained problems can include text equivalents to images. This may be an explanation of a photo in a text-based format underneath the photo. Post documents in a text-based format. This can be anything. PDF files are generally not commonly accessible to people with disabilities due to the picture-based format versus a Word document or a HTML-based document, which is text-based. Do not lock the design elements of your website. Many monitors and devices have color blindness settings for accessibility. If you lock the design elements, this can hinder a person with color blindness from accessing your website. Include audio and subtitles for all multimedia. Avoid blinking or flashing elements. This is due to people with epilepsy having seizures from these elements. Include a skip navigation HTML tag so that people with screen readers can go straight to web page content. Provide helpful navigation tools such as titles, headings, and context to help users navigate complex web pages with many different sections. The main idea of designing a website in compliance with ADA regulations is to think how others might use your website. Don't assume that anyone who uses your website is going to use it the same way you would. There are many different people with many different disabilities out there, and you want them all to be able to use your website in an easy to use way which complies with all ADA guidelines and that provides everybody a pleasurable user interface. All information of this presentation was obtained by the ADA website. The ADA is part of the United States Department of Justice Civil Rights Department. Images 1 and 2 have their sources displayed.